Your minds back to a couple of days ago, I made a video about how the Conjuring house has completely blown up the Cody and Satori situation once again, when they put their response out 5 months after the initial incident. Now, you know, in my video that I talked about, where we read over kind of the Conjuring house's response alongside everything that's kind of gone on so far. If you haven't checked out that video, for context, if you need it, go and check that one out. But you know, the response was awful. There's no denying it. Like, it was a tragic response. It was a feeble attempt at trying to clearly, you know, deflect blame or issue, and it really kind of rubbed people up the wrong way. And it didn't just seem like an attack against the people and the naysayers who were against Cody and Satori, but also it was almost an attack against the kind of the greater paranormal community. You know, there were shots fired, and one of the people that was actually name dropped within that video, or within that response, sorry, was a guy called Mythos Paranormal. Now, Mythos Paranormal is a YouTuber who's got about 15,000 subscribers. He's kind of, you know, he's been at the forefront of this whole Cody and Satori situation, but you know, he's a proper sound guy. I've had a couple of conversations with Mythos, you know, nothing like major, but, you know, just over Instagram or whatever. And he is a sound guy, you know, he seems like just one of your, you know, salt of the earth people. But what's interesting about Mythos is his very first video came out 4 months ago, and it was a message for Cody and Satori, and oh no, this isn't good, Sam and Colby, Cody and Satori response. Now, those first two videos from Mythos, they were actually siding with Cody and Satori, from what I remember. He actually was not against Cody and Satori. He was literally on the side of Cody and Satori. He was like, look, I think these guys are legit. I think that their method is legit. And then as soon as like the debunking things kind of started kicking in, he then like had his mind changed. And he also kind of joined in with, when he found out that they were 100% fake, he kind of like switched over to that side. But what's interesting is, you know, at the very beginning, he was on their side. Now, bear that in mind as we go through this video, because obviously a lot of the things that were said in the Conjuring house response is kind of attacking Mythos for never being on their side and things like this. So it's good to have this context that he was actually on their side. I've said that countless times, but he was on their side. Anyway, we're going to take a look at Mythos' response. I've already watched this through. I've got some points to talk about, but, you know, it gets heated. It gets very heated. So, let's get straight into it.
It's Mythos, and this is a message, I guess, in response to everyone all of a sudden 5 months later putting out statements all on the same day. It was very weird to post what you all posted 5 months later. Is money drying up or something? So you want to take your anger out on someone?
Well, that's exactly what I said. In my video a couple of days ago, I was like, this screams revenue's down and they need to action something. They need to do something to claw back some people to paying to come along to the Conjuring house, because I think indirectly the Conjuring house has been affected by Cody and Satori's Sam and Colby video, because they were in association. So people don't want to go there now because they're like, well, this is clearly just money grabbing and a load of nonsense. And, you know, looks like revenue's down, so they're trying to claw people back with this kind of response to try and like be like, look, we stand with Cody and Satori, we're not fake, please come back, give me your money. Yeah.
It's not anyone else's fault but your own. You have outpriced 90% of the people who would want to go to that house. So the word on the street is Jacqueline is apparently going to try come after me legally somehow. Good luck with that, just as I showed the other day in that silly video I made. You're going to try and come after me for saying they're fake and they can't talk to the dead? Okay, first off, you will have to actually prove that spirits exist in the first place, and second, that they can communicate with them. If you think you can come after me for anything else, you're very much mistaken, because all I've done regarding all of your videos is show the evidence that you all put out there to the public, and I provided my opinion on them.
Now, I have watched Mythos' videos kind of throughout this situation, because I've always been intrigued about what's going on. And, you know, I can, you know, vouch for what he's just said there. Like, he's never actually, you know, thrown names out there. He's never been horrible about Cody and Satori personally, but he has, you know, from the evidence that's been put out by Cody and Satori and by Sam and Colby and the Conjuring House, because, you know, they are employees of the Conjuring House, he's just commented on those videos, and he's not actually done anything that he was accused of within the open letter. So it was really interesting.
That's right. My opinion. In England, we're allowed one. I'm not sure what's going on over there in the US. I've heard many stories of Cody and Satori threatening people with legal action. I've heard lots of rumours about Jacqueline may have hit Sam and Colby with one. That's why they're now trying to avoid even talking about it all.
Now, I find that really interesting. Firstly, I never knew about the whole Cody and Satori threatening legal action. I don't know if that's true. There's no kind of proof to back that up within the video, so I can't say that that's 100% accurate. But what I will say is, if Sam and Colby have been hit with a legal threat, that's interesting, because they've not done anything wrong. Like, they were allowed to go to this place. They were allowed to showcase Cody and Satori by guidance of the Conjuring House. So why have they been hit with legal action to stay silent on the whole situation when they've not done anything wrong? They literally, they did what was in the, I'm assuming, like, proverbial contract, where, you know, they turn up, they shoot their 3-part video, and they leave. Same as when they do any other video. Like, they've not done anything wrong either. It's just because you've, from the outside looking in, it's because that it looks like the Conjuring House has had really bad publicity off the back of this, so they're like, right, this was not the way it was supposed to go. Shut up about it. Don't ever speak about it ever again. Wild.
Thing is, with most people, they would be scared and just back down, like it seems someone did the other day after an apparent phone call with you. The thing is about me is no one's threats are going to work on me, and no one is ever going to attempt to bully me. There's been bigger, badder people who have tried and failed. I've heard you are an attorney, so obviously this is why you think you have the right to tell people what to do, but you can't be a very good one. That statement you put out was absolutely terrible. You'd have thought you'd have had someone read over it first, but you definitely just typed that up in 5 minutes in a rage and posted it.
Again, that's exactly what I said happened, and you can tell that that was exactly what the case was by how it was worded, how it was literally an attack against anyone and everyone. No one was safe from that letter. Like, the paranormal community wasn't safe. The actual customers that had been to the Conjuring House were not safe. The debunkers were not safe. Anyone who even looks in the direction of the Conjuring House was not safe.
Before we get into that though, let me just tell you a quick story. If anyone's out there in the MMA world, you may already know about this. So an ex-MMA fighter called Brendan Schaub, who is now doing YouTube stuff.
Now, I'm going to skip over this part because Mythos goes to talk about defamation cases and things like this. I think it's relevant in the context of the video, so if you want to check that out, you know, definitely go and check out Mythos's full video, and there'll be a link down in the description to that. But yeah, we're going to gloss over that because we're going to get to the meat and bones, because it just got so much worse.
Take on it. Oh, hey, they said this here, but then they also said this here. They claim they can talk to ghosts, but look at his ankle here. He is making knocking sounds with that. That's not on me. That's on the people I am talking about. So, onto your statement, Jacqueline. You said, blah blah. We received thousands of messages from viewers expressing their gratitude for how these videos have provided comfort and or has altered belief systems regarding the continuity of consciousness after death. Our beloved...
I still think that the belief system has gone the opposite direction from believers to skeptics after the video. I don't think it's as deep as she wants it to be.
Spirit Abigail Arnold established her own fan club for her contributions in these videos. However, there have also been some skeptics, disbelievers and opportunists who have sought to monetize their content by producing debunking videos and telling outright lies to hurt Cody and Satori. These slanderous lies and the debunking videos have been produced by people who have never met Cody and Satori, let alone had the privilege of experiencing their method Among the lies is the assertion that Cody and Satori have made a lot of money from their method. Cody and Satori have never taken any money for their method, nor were they paid one dime from the Sam and Colby videos featuring their method in every episode.
Now, what I find interesting about that, and I'll kind of like reel it back to the previous video. This is something I didn't notice until this video, but there are events, paid for events, that Cody and Satori go to, right? So people pay money, they go along, and Cody and Satori are there. It's almost like a meet and greet Comic-Con style thing, and obviously they're there. I'm under no impression. I can't factually prove this, but I'm under no false impression that they're making money from that. You know, like, otherwise they must make a living from their method because they're paid by the Conjuring house, if that makes sense. Like, they're employees of the Conjuring house, and they are employed to do this method as a form of communication to enhance the experience of the Conjuring house, right? Like, so therefore they are paid to do their method, and they are paid by the Conjuring house, even if it's like, you know, it's not directly paid to them. They are paid through a source. It comes into the Conjuring house, goes, spreads out, trickles down to them for their method. So, you know.
Okay, so you say skeptics? Yes, everyone should be skeptical. Blind belief is the process of not thinking. Disbelievers? Wait, are you calling me a disbeliever? How dare you insult my beliefs? I believe in the paranormal. I even started this channel off as a believer and a defender in those two. And you mention about opportunists. Coming from you, that is quite hilarious. People have not started debunking channels to make money. Most don't make money. They want to find the truth, and they are showing off things that provide that. People do not need to be there in person to see if it's real or not. We can physically see his joints and ligaments moving to create the knocks.
Now, I completely agree with that, and I see it from both sides. I think in that sense, yes, to label these people as opportunists is a very broad brush statement, and that is going to ruffle some feathers. But I definitely think there are people who have kind of, you know, created content surrounding this because it is such a popular topic. You know, and it's a good opportunity to get your name out there off the back of making videos. Now, am I saying that that's necessarily the case for everyone? No, I 100% believe that there are channels out there that are doing this because of their passion and their belief within whatever space. But, you know, let's not like pretend that people haven't done this because there's opportunity for growth. You know, it literally is just by the by. Like, even on this channel, literally, like, Cody and Satori video has become one of the most popular videos on this channel specifically. You know, it just is the case.
You call us liars, but you are telling a lie here, saying that they don't make money. And that's been their plan from the start. If you don't charge money for it, then they can't be sued for fraud because they didn't accept money. For a start, they are literally employed by you. You pay them to work on your property where they do their method. You literally start the next paragraph off with, Cody and Satori are valued staff members of the Conjuring house. While for the public there are a few instances where we have allowed their method to be shared with guests. Oh, wait a minute. I have numerous hours of footage from private sessions we have done since I purchased the property back in May 2022. And that is why you are such a believer. Just like that couple I showed on Exploring with Josh's video, they were at their house for a number of years. They have been with you so long, they have convinced you that they are real. I plan to share a few of these videos to help support what I and many others know to be the truth. Cody and Satori are not frauds. They have a unique gift that enables them to channel spirit messages in a biological physical form rather than through other physical mediums like EVPs, spirit boxes or REM pods.
Now, what's interesting, and something I did notice the first time around watching Mythos' video, is there's something odd going on, because I absolutely believe that Mythos, there's no way that Mythos can be taken to court or whatever, and I don't think it will ever get that far because the expenses will massively outweigh the reward. But Mythos never actually, unless he's quoting the text, he never says Cody and Satori's name outright. He refers to them as those two, them, or he never. From what I can remember, if I catch it in a video and he does say Cody and Satori outside of outside of quoting the text, I'll retract this statement. But from what I've seen, he doesn't refer to them at all outside of para quoting the text. So I found that interesting, and I'm not sure if that's just something because he's feeling passionate and he doesn't want to say their names, or if it's because, deep down there is that element of trying to cover his own back. What do you guys think? It's just something I picked up on.
Okay, so for a start, I'm not too sure on things like EVP, spirit boxes and REM pods either. But you are putting out strong claims there. You know the truth. They are not frauds. Then please tell me, why did they do lots of things to try and prove they are real, but they won't do the one thing that will disprove it? Anyway, to the paranormal...
I mean, that is an amazing point. And actually, I'm going to stop that one there because in my last Cody and Satori video, I simply said... I had a comment on my video that said that a guy called Kenny Biddle... Now, I never heard of Kenny Biddle before the comment, but I looked up his channel. His channel is... it's actually a pretty good channel, to be fair. Like, he's a very, very skeptical man. He's very... he's very scientific with the way that he kind of goes about videos. But what I did notice was this top comment here. He said... Just trying to find it. Kenny Biddle, the biggest skeptic on the planet, issued an expenses-paid invitation to Cody and Satori to visit the Center for Inquiry, a group that explores the scientifically tests people with paranormal abilities or powers, just yesterday in the Conjuring House response on Facebook. The group doubled down the prize money to $500,000 if the two of them would come to a center for testing their paranormal gift. I would think that it would be a marvelous gift. You would jump to the monetary incentive and a chance of being awarded $500,000 to demonstrate your ability and have it proved to the world. Now, this is wild. Like, $500,000 to go to, they are preaching from the high heavens that this is without a shadow of a doubt real. And all they have to do is they have to go to this centre. It's all expenses paid for. There is literally no, I can't afford to go there, I can't afford to take time off, because you get $500,000 if you do it. All expenses paid for, you go to this centre, they scientifically test your method, and they will say whether it is real or whether it is a load of nonsense. And if you can prove that it's real, they will award you $500,000. Like, who is not taking that opportunity? Why are they not taking that opportunity? It begs the question. I'm not saying that that's why they're not taking it, but it begs the question. Anyway, moving
community,
on.
Many of you have dedicated your lives to exploring locations in the hopes of capturing evidence of spirit existence. Recognize that when you attack or refuse to support other members in your community, that you are also attacking yourselves and the evidence that you have captured in your investigations. The hypocrisy. If Cody and Satori are frauds, brackets, they are not, what does that say about the EVPs, thermal images or any other devices that you have documented? Your evidence is much more suspect than the physical evidence that is heard by all when they have experienced the method by Cody and Satori. I ask you to consider the ramifications on our field by participating in destroying the reputation of people who are doing their honest best to capture authentic evidence. It hurts all of us. Okay, wow. So you want to put out a message to the paranormal community, but then you also tell them that everything they have done and captured is a load of rubbish? Right, that's it. I'm calling a lawyer on you. You can't say that. The irony. You talk about the physical evidence. Is a thermal image not physical? Is the sound of a REM pod so different to the sound of these knocks? I'm not sure what you're trying to get at there. Those are both sounds we can hear. Why are you saying one is greater evidence than the other? Anyway, to the disbelievers and debunkers, you have passed your opinions and personal narratives off as facts. This includes Mythos Paranormal and Bad to the Bone Paranormal, among others. There have been threats made, cyberbullying captured, and proof of your lies collected by many who have witnessed your actions. You are prudent to take note that your slanderous claims and defaming lies are illegal. Mostly, I am addressing you to tell you that the Conjuring House does not care about you. You are not our market, and you represent less than 10% of people that have engaged with us. Okay, so you mentioned my name along with saying disbelievers. I'll say again, who are you to say I'm a disbeliever and putting my opinions out as facts? You are saying you believe in them and you're putting your opinions out there as facts. Let me just go over what you have just said. You said, and I must add, they're in capitals, they are not frauds. That's your opinion that you are putting out. And excuse me, you said you have proof of me cyberbullying? Please, I dare you to show me that. I am dead against bullying. Everyone who knows me knows that. I've not said one bad thing about them. In fact, I have told my audience not to go over them and say hateful things towards them. You also say my claims are slanderous? Wow, the cheek on you. Now who is lying about someone? I'll put a defamation case on you, shall I? Saying I'm slanderous, a liar, a cyberbully, a disbeliever, and the worst thing of all, you said you don't care about me. Oh no.
Now, I find this really interesting because, again, like I said, I've watched Mythos's videos towards this topic, and I've not seen anything where I've been like, "Oh, that was a bit personal. That was a bit close to the bone. That was a bit, that was horrible." I haven't seen anything like that. He passes off his opinions absolutely on the content. So she's right. He passes off opinions, but he does also back it up with video fact. He shows the video, he shows what he sees, but he never kind of says that you have to believe it as factual opinion, just straight up facts. But what is interesting is how I absolutely see this as an empty threat from the Conjuring House. I don't think they actually have anything on Mythos regarding cyberbullying or anything, because they claim to have this evidence, but I do feel like that was an empty threat and to try and intimidate. But I'd be interested to see if they share it, because I'm intrigued to see what Jacqueline Nunez classes as cyberbullying. And if you had that, just sharing is caring. Let's see it.
Hello, Mammy. Jacqueline Nunez doesn't care about me. Yeah, it seems like she does actually, doesn't it? We apparently represent less than 10% of your market. So what's all this kicking off at the 10% then? Very strange that they use the word market though. That says a lot. Anyway, to the paranormal enthusiasts and paranormal curious, you are who we care about. That's us as well, Jacqueline.
But that also kind of disregards the last statement or last paragraph, because in the last paragraph she was having a pop at the paranormal enthusiasts and the paranormal curious for not having the correct evidence. So it's like a shit sandwich. It's like paragraph of berating, paragraph of I love you, paragraph of berating, paragraph of I love you. It's so weird. It's very bipolar.
We encourage you to continue your explorations into the spirit existence to see what awesome experiences await you. That's what we're doing. Of course, we want you to visit the Conjuring House, but there are so many active locations around the world and hopefully near you where you can venture out in search of some otherworldly encounters. I would have loved to have gone to that place, but not anymore. As a final thought to our extended TCH family and those who may become a part of it, do not ever allow anyone to get you to doubt or disbelieve the spiritual or paranormal experiences that have impacted your lives and or belief systems. Only you nor the experiences that you have had. You are entitled to your belief systems, so own and embrace them. Stay tuned for some videos from the Conjuring house, hashtag Sam and Colby. Okay, so you've made some good points there actually, Jacqueline, which you need to start to do as well. I will never allow you to make me doubt my beliefs or my experiences. How dare you say I don't believe? The one very important thing that you said, you are entitled to your belief systems. I believe that your two employees are not talking to the dead. So now you've finished off with that, what's everyone's problem? We all believe in different things, and as you said, you're entitled to believe what you want. Oh, hang on a minute. Does it only work one way? You can believe, but only if you believe the same thing as you. That's what's wrong with belief in general, and has been the root of many problems throughout history.
Now, I'm going to stop the video there. Obviously, you know, Mythos does go on a little bit of a rant towards the end, so if you want to check that out, obviously go and check out the full video. But he raises a lot of very valid points towards the end there. But what do you guys think? I want to hear your thoughts and opinions down in the comments. Obviously, this whole situation is wild. And the fact that, again, I'll bring it back. We are 5-6 months down the line, and we're still talking about it. That's how deep this clearly runs. And, you know, there's shit like this with the Conjuring house and Cody and Satori putting out their statements like they did a couple of days ago is only adding fuel to the fire. You know, like, it's because of this constant back and forth that it's still going on. So, you know, I don't think that this is going to be stopping anytime soon. I don't see how this comes to a natural conclusion, if I'm perfectly honest. Like, where does the line get drawn? Is it, like, I think the only way that the line gets drawn is when Cody, like, there is enough pressure on Cody and Satori to kind of do it, like, and either prove or disprove themselves, if that makes sense, like live stream or whatever. I can't see how this goes away, personally. I just can't. Like, these people are ruthless, and they are going for the jugular. So, what do you guys think? Get down in the comments below. If you have got this far, I'd love to hear your thoughts and opinions. Be sure to jump scare the hell out of that like button while you're down there. Subscribe if you're new and tickle my little bell so you get notified whenever we upload to this channel. And until next time, guys, I hope that you have enjoyed. I cannot wait to see you in the next one, and we'll speak to you later. Peace.